In South Korea's men's pro volleyball league, the V-League, the Incheon Korean Air Jumbos dominated the 2021-22 season, which just wrapped up recently, finishing top of the regular season and winning the championship series as well. And that was achieved under the helm of today's guest, head coach Tommi TIILIKAINEN. At just 35 years old, he has had an impressive start to coaching in South Korea, following stints in Finland, Germany and Japan, spanning over 10 years already. I'm delighted to say that he joins us in the studio today for Touch Base in Seoul. Mr. TIILIKAINEN, hello and welcome to the show.
Hello, thank you. It's nice to be here.
First, I have to say congratulations on winning the regular season and the playoffs, especially because you achieved it in the most dramatic of fashions. That final match against the KB Insurance Stars was something else, simply. I believe there were 8 deuces in the final to settle the match after 5 sets as well. That must have been an incredible feeling when you finally won that final point.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Of course, it's always nice to win, but especially the way we pulled it off in the end, it was really special. To be honest, I've never been part or seen such a dramatic championship finish. So of course, it was a good feeling. And always when you finish the season, you're pretty empty because you put everything on the work. But this time it was empty, but also happy feeling after the last point.
Yeah, it was just unbelievably close. I saw in the footage that when the final point was won, instead of running into the players and celebrating with them, you just turned around and you looked like you just wanted to sit down. You talked about being empty. You put everything into that final match and also over the season as well then.
Yeah, and players did great job, and the job was done. Yeah, I don't know. There's no words, to be honest, but like you said.
I mean, what do you say in that final set, in the final few points to your players? Is there anything that you can do as a coach, or do you just have to put your faith in the players at that point?
Well, generally in the last match, we talked about it's going to be players' voice. It's about having leaders on the court in different positions, so the players really took ownership on what happens on the court, and basically in the end it's just about talking about good things, making sure that you stay positive and you keep having faith for people.
Well, it was a breathless finish to top a great season for you as well, finishing top of the regular season as well, as we mentioned. How did you feel you achieved what you did this year? What factors do you think led to the team's success?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think there's any magical answer. I think it's simply that from the day one we had a common goal and everybody committed to it. From the result perspective, of course, there's some goals we didn't meet, some performance goals that we need to keep improving, and it's going to be hopefully happening next year. But other than that, I would say our club would really provide fantastic facilities for daily work. And we could really just focus on getting better at volleyball. So, we would work hard from the day one.
How would you describe your coaching style? Do you have a sort of philosophy about the way you want your teams to play? In media reports, I saw it being described as speed volleyball. Is that right?
Yeah, well, I would say I always want to push limits in different directions, and based on what kind of team I have, what kind of players I have, I try to make always the next level. And we had a really skillful and experienced roster, and I wanted to go after some new levels and really push the limits, and that's what we're going to do next year also. Other than that, it's probably I would say I would try to do some relationship based coaching, which is. It's an interesting challenge for me to work in generally in Asia when I don't have the same language with all the people.
Right, you were coaching in Japan for the Wolfdog Nagoyas for 4 years, I believe, before you came to Korea. What motivated you to come to Korea?
Yeah, so I think I talked about this early this year or before the season. I was 4 years in Japan, and I think I came came 2 times to Korea for training camps with my Japanese team. So, I saw really interesting teams and great facilities to work, and for me it was really interesting to be here. And ever since I thought that if I have a chance, I will come here and challenge myself. And I was pretty sure that I can learn something and I can teach something.
What was it about what you saw that appealed to you?
Well, like I said, it's for me. I talked about the facilities. It's like a volleyball heaven. You have your own gym, and you can just focus on getting better at volleyball. Everything is handled very professionally. You have very skillful players, and people who really love volleyball. It's great to be part of it.
Right, and now you've been here for a year. How have you found it? Was it what you expected?
There's always some surprises, of course, but I would say in big picture it was pretty much how I expected. But of course, it's always you meet new people, you make new relationships, you're in a new environment, so you gotta adapt.
What was your biggest surprise?
Traffic.
This whole traffic.
Yeah, I mean, in volleyball topics, there's, we speak the same language. It's volleyball. But outside of volleyball, the traffic is crazy.
Right, you'd been coaching since your early 20s, and you in fact won the Finnish championship at just 25 years old. And at one point, that's one point I think that's really fascinated a lot of Korean media here, is that you are the head coach, but you're younger than some of your players as well. In Korea, where age is so important when it comes to seniority, having a coach that is younger than the players can perhaps seem difficult maybe to adjust to. How was it for you? Did you have any challenges or any difficulties with that situation?
Well, you always, of course, you gotta ask from the players also. But from my point of view, it's very comfortable, because that's a situation I've always had. I think it's more like if you can show that you have something to give, the age doesn't matter so much. And if you can show that you're passionate about this and you want to do the best for the team, for the individuals, you usually find some mutual ground there.
And you've been passionate since a young age. I understand you did play at a pro level in Finland, but then you had to retire early at quite a young age because of a back injury. How did you deal with that? How did you feel when your career as a player was cut short? But then how did you decide to transition into coaching afterwards?
Yeah, so basically, I needed to finish before I got really started. I was about to sign my first pro contract, but then I needed to stop. I was, I guess, around 18, and I got some bad back issues, and I could never really recover from them to be a player. And that was, of course, devastating. That was something like I wanted to be a player, and it was a clear vision for me. So it took a couple of years to reset and try to figure out what's the next goal, where should I put all the passion. And I guess I was like 20, 21, 22. I decided it's time to go back to volleyball, and here I am.
Here you are. Was it a natural fit at first, though, coaching, going from a player to a coach?
No, well, immediately, I was thinking I need to do something else with my life when I got injured. But then there was a moment that it became clear that no, I don't think I can run away from this sport. This is what I want to do. But of course, the journey has been long, and every year something is changing. So the guy who started when I was 21, 22. That's a very different guy right now.
So you've ended up here in Korea now. When you first got the call to say come to Korea, what was going through your mind?
Yeah, like I said, when I visited here, I decided that if I have a chance, I want to come. So for me, it was clear that if there's a possibility, I I want to come here and experience the Korean volleyball and help it in any way possible.
But you came into a team, the Korean Air Jumbos, that had won the championship the year before as well. Did you feel pressure to succeed? Did you feel any burden?
Of course, but I think that's only positive thing. And I have some experience also in the past being in teams that are our favorites. So I don't mind that situation. It's clear that from results point of view, we could not do more. But then you focus on how can you play better, how can you have better performance, how can you provide a better show on the court, and that's what we will keep doing.
Was it easy to mold the team into what you wanted? How did the team adapt to the kind of style that you wanted to bring?
I think the natural progression is that there's some agreeing and there's some disagreeing and there's some happy moments and there's some some conflicts, some fights. That's how it goes. We wanted to change the way we think about the game, the way we train the game, the way we prepare for the matches. So it's not always an easy ride, but that's natural for me. But in the end, we made it. We got it done, and we got to keep going. But I would be lying if I would say it's always easy. But nothing important comes too easy, though.
Right, and it seems that you're already looking ahead to next season. You're already looking at areas that you want to improve. How do you plan to prepare now? How do you top what you've achieved this year?
Well, like I said, that from just the result point of view, of course, it's clear that we want to, going forward, we want to lift the trophy. But again, we need to check what kind of details make the end result, and we have lots of things we can improve inside our performance, inside our show, and sport. It's infinite game. I mean, there will be always a new match. There will be a new season. There's a new challenge, and well, that's what I love about it also.
And do you hope to leave some sort of mark on the Korean scene here before you go?
Absolutely, of course. I'm really pushing for volleyball revolution in all different ways wherever I go, and whenever my work is done here, I hope I could leave some sort of a new perspective based on my values.
What kind of new perspective do you want to leave here in Korea?
Well, it's always shaking up the paradigm of what is possible, what is not possible to do on the volleyball court. If you look volleyball, how it was played 20 years ago, 30 years ago, it's not the same. It's always changed. And, how it's going to be played in the future is not going to be the same. And, I want to be part of that revolution.
I'm sure the fans cannot wait to see what you bring next season. We've been talking to the head coach of the Incheon Korean Air Jumbos, Tommi TIILIKAINEN. Thank you for coming to speak with us today, and it was a real pleasure.
Thank you very much. Hope to meet you again soon.